I originally came to the studio. I was teaching an asynchronous class that I had taught before, but in person beforehand. And the only other time I had taught an asynchronous class was a grad course. So there were 15 students. It was really easy to create community. And I was kind of panicking about how to create that sense of community and that connection with students given all of these circumstances. When I saw the email asking if we could make welcome videos, I thought, sure, this could be one tool in the toolkit to maybe start that community off on a good foot. I came in to make the welcome video, and it was very helpful advice that I was thinking just really isolated that this would just be the welcome video, 1 minute welcome to the class kind of thing. And then as I was here and hearing from the staff, the Center for Excellence in Learning and Teaching, you could also use the studio for other purposes. And it was a really great suggestion because what I had planned was to make small, short Canva presentations with a voiceover and kind of have those in little chunks every week. But that could get boring for me, but definitely for the students. And so the suggestion to mix it up a little bit and not do every single video in here, but kind of pepper a few on-camera versions of the weekly videos in studio might be kind of nice. The first time I remember it feeling maybe a bit more formal because you submit this script and I'm used to speaking a little bit more without a script. And then booking it, I probably was quite nervous beforehand, but the staff here were amazing. The students who were working that particular year were really great. It was actually great to hear feedback and kind of have their perspective as well on everything unfolding behind the camera. I remember reading some scholarship on asynchronous pedagogy and best practices, and I remember one article, it divvied up the difference between substantive and stylistic gestures that you do in an asynchronous class. And it was sort of saying that overwhelmingly students preferred substantive over stylistic. And I don't think the line between those two is so clear-cut the way this article made it out. Because I do think there's something to be said for the material being different every year, feeling a connection that there's actually someone behind the screen here. There's something to be said about students feeling like there's someone really there. And I do think using the studio and thinking about it, not in a stylistic way, but in a way of actually informing the larger, broader goals of the course makes a lot of sense. Just planning ahead. So, maybe if you know that the last quarter of the semester is when you are really just making your material up on the fly at that point and just kind of running on fumes, like that might not be the best time to plan one of these videos. If you're doing like 3 in the semester, maybe front load them a little bit. It was like all ready for me. So it was this nice treat when it came to week 8 that I had this lecture completely taken care of. So you want to do it well ahead of time, so you're not hoping that this will be online tomorrow, that you've given enough time for it to be edited properly.